Hello, people. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. And today, once again, in a very short time, we are doing the second call-in show of this channel. Today, again, we're gonna talk about things about Arteta, about Arsenal's title hopes this season because they're looking very damn bright. We're gonna talk about the Champions League. Can we really win it? Can we do the job? Can we get it all done? Can we maybe do two majors in one season? We're gonna talk about the future, about the current events because uh, it's definitely not looking too great in terms of certain aspects of Arsenal's season. Let's just put it that way, especially if we talk about injuries and everything, because at the moment it looks like we are, and I kid you not, without the right back. From what I have read, that because he's out for the season, Ben White has been ruled out for the season, and it's an MCL. So yeah, we are kind of screwed in that right back position. It's definitely not looking too great, is it? Definitely not looking too great from that point of view, because right now we have only, well, technically speaking, Mosquera for their right back position. So we'll see how that's gonna go, because definitely at the moment it is a bit ropey in terms of defense and in terms of right back situation. At the same time, well, we have to manage. We have to manage, no excuses. And even to win the Premier League, we should not need Ben White, because we can do the job against Burnley and Crystal Palace. We should be able, at least. So only time will tell. Although not having Ben White, even not having Ben White against PSG, that already is a different topic, different discussion, different circumstances that definitely are not going in Arsenal's favor at all, because we all know that the left side of PSG's team is absolutely electric, so to speak. So we're gonna talk about everything today. So people, call in show. I'm gonna post the link in a few minutes. So if you have a camera, you have a microphone, above 18, obviously we need that stuff as well. You can join and we can have a chat, of course. So like the stream, subscribe if you're new, and we are going to go from there. Big up Hyper Protagonist. Big up. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Hope everything's fine this beautiful Tuesday with you. Big up Driddly Flame. Big up. Hope all is fine with you too. Big up Mattel. Big up. Big up Junior. Big up. Big up. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's fine. But I'm going to start with this because we need to talk about this. We definitely need to talk about this. And yeah, it's definitely not great news. Ben White apparently has been ruled out for the rest of the season with suspected MCL injury, which comes at the worst time possible, so to speak. It comes at the worst time possible for Arsenal, for our defense, for our attack, for everything. Let's just put it that way, because Timber is out indefinitely. Basically, we don't know when he's coming back. If he's coming back, most likely for the next season, of course, only. Same as now with Ben White. So what does that mean for right back position? What does that mean for our right back position? Because at the moment, if we look at things, we only have, and that is Mosquera. Or if Arteta in his infinite wisdom plays Declan Rice there again. Like, we have to take that into account, because it's not the first time we saw Ben White playing right back under Arteta in the game against West Ham. It has happened before. And obviously, if we talk about the other sixes, Thomas Partey has played right back countless times under Mikel Arteta. So yeah, it's not looking great. Definitely not looking great. But as I mentioned already, against Burnley at home, we should be able to get the job done without Ben White. We should be able to do the job against Crystal Palace without Ben White. Now, the PSG game, that is now quite different topic, different discussion, and different circumstances, because completely different game, completely different pressure, and we all know that left side with Kvaratskhelia, Barcola, whoever plays there, even Doué can rotate in there. It's handful even for Yuri and Timber, it was last year. So now we have to play with Mosquera there. So it definitely is not the greatest of situations in terms of Arsenal. Let's just put it that way. Saw this, knew it was a knee straight away. Yeah, Ben White on the pitch already looked sad, very much in pain, and obviously he left the game with a knee brace. So it definitely, their signs were already there, so to speak, but at least they're keeping him home and not going to the World Cup. True. But these injuries like this as well, like best case scenario, he's gonna recover mid-July. Best case scenario. Let's be real. Like properly recover mid-July, late July. Like it was the second part, if not the end part of the preseason even. So let's see how Arsenal manage that. We do need some backup to Mosquera now if he goes down. Oh my goodness, exactly. But don't worry, we have Declan Rice. We have Declan Rice. Or we can play some youngsters. That is the only alternative we have. Play Mosquera, play Rice, or play some youngsters. Because we don't have other right backs. That is the only option we have, don't we? Like Josh Nichols, maybe right back. Or we just do a Mazza basically and play Saliba as a right back. Put Gabriel and Hincapié as center back, Scalafiori left back, or something like that. Which sounds very preposterous and everything, but desperate times, desperate measures, so to speak. Let's just put it that way. If Mosquera goes down as well, and Saliba was playing right back on occasion when he was at Marseille, but that was like what 4 or 5 years ago. Definitely not the greatest of times. He hasn't played there pretty much at all. So we have positions where we have big issues. Let's just put it that way. We definitely have positions where we have issues right now. And that is not looking great at all. Gyökeres at right back. He's big and strong enough. Aubameyang as a left back was enough. We don't need Gyökeres as a right back as well. Like, come on. Like, put those things to bed. Come on, man. Big up, Godfrey. Big up, big up, big up. I'm good. I'm hella tired, but I'm very, very good. Hope you're doing well today too, my guy. Hope everything's fine in your world as well. But this Ben White injury, yeah. I came home. I turned on the news, so to speak, and definitely I saw that, and I literally was for a bit I was speechless because it was bound to happen eventually. I'm not gonna lie, it was bound to happen eventually. At the same time, definitely not the greatest times, one of the worst times possible. Just like arguably the Merino injury came at the worst time possible for Arsenal. Right now, it's also happening with Ben White, and definitely it is a big, 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 big problem, technically speaking. Very big problem. And we must survive this. We must survive this without dropping quality, without dropping expectations, without dropping performances. That is the big thing. Can the team respond? That is the most important situation about all of this. Can the team step up in the absence of Ben White? Even Ben White. And obviously Timber, that goes without saying. Mosquera will start the remaining games now. Yeah, Mosquera will. But we was talking about Mateo saying, like, we do need some backups if Mosquera goes down. Imagine if Mosquera goes down as well. What we gonna do then? What we gonna do then? Is the problem Arteta beasting them or the medical stuff? End of season, there needs to be a review due to number of games and the stress the squad will incur with so many games. True, Arsenal is the first team this season who has played 60 plus games. First things first. But Ben White has been ruined, absolutely annihilated, to say the least. Because he was playing for a month, 2 months, or if not even 3 months with the necessity of a surgery while Timber was recovering, or he was slowly being integrated into the team, which absolutely has shot him to bits. And right now we are looking at not Ben White we used to see before that injury, when he was talked about being arguably one of the best right backs in the league. But we are looking at Ben White, who is basically Tomiyasu, who can play maybe 4 or 5 games, and then he's out for 2 or 3 months. And that definitely is not a great thing to even look at. Do you think Timber makes surprise return? Because I don't see it happening. There have been no updates. It's crazy. Timber is not going to make surprise returns. Yesterday, there were some rumored updates from the hand of Arsenal about the fact that Timber is training, but not anything close to being back. Nothing close to being back. Let's just put it that way. So time only will tell. Time only will tell. Let's just put it that way. But Timber is definitely not coming back, and he's not going to play also in the World Cup, in my opinion, and he should not as well. Honestly. Big up LT Kings. What do you think of Trossard's very important goal in his possible last season? Fantastic. That could be the title-winning goal. At the same time, before that goal, how about the season-saving goal save from David Raya when he absolutely stopped one-on-one? How about that as well? Like two massive, massive, massive moments, as Arteta likes to put them, for Arsenal. Raya makes a phenomenal save, and then Trossard makes it 1-0 for Arsenal. Very late fashion. It was tough, it was grinding, but we got the job done. Trossard again. He hadn't scored since December the 30th for Arsenal last year. And he came up clutch once again. Trossard tends to score in these clutch moments for Arsenal. He tends to, and yes, and against West Ham, that definitely was one. Yeah, Raya was man of the match for me, and Scaly was great once again. Exactly. Scaly was fantastic once again. And David Raya, to be honest, in my opinion, he actually should be in for player of the season. Serious talk, player of the season. Not just for Arsenal, but in Premier League overall. The Golden Gloves, the saves, Golden Glove, the saves he's making and everything. My camera today is absolutely on PMS or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I would put a very strong argument that David Raya could be one. Absolutely. 3 Golden Gloves in a row for Raya, won the transfers of the century. Like, it has turned out to be fantastic because first things first, the defense is helping him to keep the clean sheets by basically being rock solid. And most of the time, when his name has been called upon to basically save Arsenal from deep crap, he has stood up, he has stepped in, and he has done it. So David Raya has been one of the most instrumental and the most important players for Arsenal this season. Because our attack couldn't score to save their lives for big parts of the season. And David Raya has actually kept us in the game many times. So in the end, we can nick that 1-0 lead by own goal or set piece or 2-1 win or something like that. David Raya has been fantastic. Yes, he makes some errors, some silly errors at times, and that is more the instructions from the manager most likely. But at the same time, he has saved our bacon more than anything. Right, absolutely. Big up, Cooper. Big up. Smash the likes, people, and subscribe if you have not already. They never want to give it to defenders or goalkeepers. Raya should be definitely be in the conversations to win Premier League Player of the Season. Oh, in my opinion, 100%. 100% Raya should be in those conversations. Without shadow of a doubt. But as we all know, it's just like the Ballon d'Or. It's usually the attackers, on occasion it's the midfielders, but pretty much never it's the defenders or goalkeepers. Let's be real. Like Cannavaro and all these. Like, remember Cannavaro, the last defender, if I'm not mistaken, who has won the Ballon d'Or. So it actually is kind of nuts. Like it usually is like that. And Fabio Cannavaro won the Ballon d'Or as well because Italy won the World Cup and everything, like 2006. It's 2 decades ago. Like, make from that what you will. Saliba has been a tiny bit error prone. He has still been great in recent games. It's 50-50, I think. It's definitely 50-50 with him. Like, I don't know. It's the situations where Saliba has been very smooth and very good. Like, no argument about that. But just like everyone, he has these tiny moments where he has lapse of judgment or something. Just like Gabriel, just like David, like everyone has. Like, the thing is, they tend to make them sometimes at the least opportunistic times possible. And that's what makes it look 10 times worse than it is, actually. So, I don't know what it might be tiredness, ultimately, at the end of the day. It might be tiredness. Because they all have played pretty much every single game, besides injuries from bell to bell, and never get substituted, more or less. So, go figure. Might be just stamina and exhaustion. Good evening, Nally. Big up. I think Van Dijk Van Dijk definitely could have won it, but also Ballon d'Or is a popularity contest. Like, Busquets never won it, but he deserved it. Massively deserved it as well. Like, if David Raya was #1 goalkeeper, right? For Spain, not Unai Simon from Athletic Bilbao, right? And Spain won the World Cup, there could be very strong arguments for Raya to even go for Ballon d'Or, being top 3 without shadow of a doubt. But that is not going to happen. Let's be real. It's just, again, hypotheticals and what if scenarios. Let's just put it that way. Hypotheticals and what if scenarios. Saliba is still one of my favorites. Did you see his pass to Gyökeres vs Atleti? Yeah. Saliba actually, we are lucky that we have Saliba. And also we are lucky that Arteta at the time, 4 years back, 5 years back, had no choice but to keep Saliba and play him center back, not to loan him out again or to sell him when we moved Ben White to right back. We are very fortunate in that regard because this center back partnership as a duo is one that it's going to be very tough to replace. And it's going to be very rough even for the next defenders who going to replace them after a while because everything comes to an end. Let's be real. They will have such big shoes to fill that it's going to be very hard for them. Very hard for them. And it might be even overwhelming to a degree because everything they're going to do is going to be compared to Saliba Gabriel. Not to even mention Sol Campbell and Kolo Toure and stuff like that. It's actually going to be nuts. Huge fan of Saliba. Him and Gabriel are arguably on the best center back pairings in Europe. Yeah. To be the best center back pairing, they need to win Premier League and Champions League. If they do that, definitely they're going to be. Must keep them together as long as possible. Yeah. And the nuts part is Gabriel is 29 this year. Gabriel is turning 29 years old at the end of this year. So he is not young anymore. At the moment, he is in his prime, so to speak. And he has maybe 2 years left, 3 years, if he stays injury-free. So definitely, it's gonna be a very, very, very interesting to see how this develops. Big up Animal Shorts. I hope he doesn't choke it. We never know with Arsenal. I'm still scared as the West Ham is not giving me hope. Burnley look the team nobody wants to play. I get it. I absolutely get it, but I don't see it anymore. I don't see it anymore. As I said yesterday, I'm 95% sure that Arsenal are going to win the league, which basically means that Arsenal obviously can lose the league, but it's not going to happen. Something catastrophic has to happen for Arsenal to lose the league, in my opinion. From this point forward, like, not even Arteta can borrow it. Let's be real. Well, should not, at least. What do you think we should get left wing, or do you reckon we should focus on our... We should get a left wing. We definitely should. We should try and get, I don't know, Kvaratskhelia, Yildiz. I would not say no to Barcola, to be honest, overall. Maybe Leo, maybe, just maybe. Depending on the circumstances, but he's definitely not my top option. Let's just put it that way. Just like Barcola, there are a few names before Barcola. One thing I'm for 100% certain, I don't want to see Nico Williams at this club. I'm going to tell you that much. And despite all that, he's still being linked with Arsenal these days. Do you think Merino, Timber... No, they're not. White is out for the rest of the season. Merino is in training, but in light training. He's training on the grass, but he's not training with the ball yet. He's not training with the team as well, which means he's at least 2-3 weeks away, minimum, to even get to that training regime. Then you need to build up match fitness and everything. Because being ready is one thing, and being match ready is completely different thing. And I don't think they will for that time. And Timber is out, and he most likely also is not even going to go to the World Cup. Mosquera looks very promising as a future replacement, potentially. One thing he needs to learn, he needs experience big time. In these high-pressure situations, he panics like Zubimendi, and I don't need that at center-back position at all. Big up Camden. Big up. Borough 1-0 up on Southampton in the second leg of the playoff semi-final. So Borough going through to the final by the looks of things. We have to score before first half. If Palace gets something versus City, then I'm confident. Yeah, Like, not even Palace. Like, it could be Bournemouth. Like, we play on Monday next week. City play at the Vitality Stadium away against Bournemouth on Tuesday. So basically, depending on what the result is against Palace, basically that game in hand, and what do we see against Burnley and then Bournemouth, could decide everything. Let's be real, because if Palace get a result against City, we could actually win the league mathematically even at Emirates, and that would actually be something very fantastic. That would be phenomenal, to be honest, for the fans, for the atmosphere, and everything. Something catastrophic, you say, Arteta, hold my via. Merino's season is done, in my opinion. Definitely. Timber as well. I don't expect them to play for Arsenal this season. For the World Cup, maybe Merino, but I don't even expect that, to be honest. Don't even expect that. So we'll see. We definitely are going to see how that goes and how that develops. So time only will tell. And yeah, people, if anyone wants to jump on, if anyone obviously has a camera, has microphone, 18 plus, and all this stuff, let me know. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. You can come in. It's a call-in show day and everything. So we'll see how this goes. Right now, but it's actually kind of insane if you think about it, because right now, with let's just put it that with title nearly being there, we have both arms on the title almost. We have one definitely, and the other one is pretty much inches away, right? And we are ready to see the armpits, right? We are talking like one game at a time, Burnley and everything. But this Ben White situation changes everything, doesn't it? It's not anymore one game at a time, because we should be able to beat Burnley without Ben White, Crystal Palace without Ben White. And then we turn our attention to, obviously, PSG. Yes, we have Mosquera. Yes, I think he's going to do a good job. However, what if Mosquera goes down? What we going to do then? Declan Rice at right back. Josh Nichols as a right back. What we gonna do then? For me, that is an actually very big worry right now. Very, very, very big worry, so to speak. For once, let's learn not bloody rush injured players back. Yeah, because in this stage of the season, there is no need to. We can do the job without them. And we should be able to do the job without them. So I don't think we need to rush players back. Big up, JT. Big up. Did you see the Spygate allegations against Southampton? Absolute cinema. What, the thing that the assistant coach or something like that was spying in the bushes on the Middlesbrough tactics or something like that? Top Gunner said Monday at 8 we tend to do well. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But Monday kickoffs for Arsenal tend to be very positive, don't they? Like, there are not that many in my recent memory. I might be turning a blind eye here on something definitely very obvious, but in my recent memory, I don't remember that we have done too badly on Mondays. Definitely. Yeah, if they go through today, they can be kicked out and deducted points. Like, Borough are gonna go through. I genuinely believe Middlesbrough is gonna go through, and there will be no questions asked about it. Definitely no questions asked, and they're gonna go through. At least those are my expectations from all of this, right? There should not, like, Borough absolutely pammed Southampton in the first leg, and they were very unlucky they did not score. They should have been like 3-4 nothing up, and they were not. And we'll see. What do you mean not well? Let's check this. Well, to be honest, we played against Sheffield, we beat them 6-0. We played against Palace, we beat them 1-0. Obviously, that was years ago, but we still can do it. I think. Wait, what? I'm confused. Seriously. Good question. Who you play as Mosquera not can play? Like, if Mosquera can play, he's fit, as far as we know at least. So he will play. Now, the question is, what happens if he also goes down? If we have a crisis at the right back position, what we gonna do then? Will it be Declan Rice? Will we call up Josh Nichols? Will we play Saliba as a right back because he has played there before for Marseille like 5 years back, basically, as AFTV suggested, like mid-season and everything. Like, what we gonna do then? Big up, Rolo. Big up. If Arteta wins both Premier League and Champions League, does that surpass Wenger? And does that mean, as an Arsenal fan, Chelsea can no longer chat to us? To be honest, if we win Premier League and Champions League, no one can chat to us. First things first. Because the only thing that other teams have over us is the Champions League. Well, the ones we argue with on fan bases, right? Only argument they will have, well, we have multiple ones, but that is irrelevant at the end of it. Well, it's not irrelevant, but we will have finally done something we have never done before. And if we win Champions League, Arteta instantly puts himself in Arsenal's history books as one of the most legendary managers at Arsenal, despite everything. Because he will achieve something no other manager has achieved in Arsenal's history ever. Let's just put it that way. For me, there's no team in the world that can beat PSG at their game. If anything can defend their style, it's the anti-football, to be honest. Well, there might be something to it. What spying do they need to do? They played each other twice in the league, and there are 42 other games to see how Boro played. That dumbass returned. Yeah, exactly. He's just rash, Mosquera. His base. Yeah. That is without shadow of a doubt. Mosquera, obviously. How old is Mosquera, by the way? Mosquera is 21 years old. 21 years old. Obviously, he's not Saliba levels at 21, but he is very rash and he tends to panic. I still remember in Premier League, he booted out the ball out for corner unnecessarily, and we conceded straight up from that corner, right? If he learns how to be more calm, level-minded, and that comes with experience, and obviously at Arsenal, when you have Saliba in front of you, and Jurrien Timber, by the way, you don't get to play that much. Let's just say it as it is. If he manages to get more experience and become more, let's just say, more intuitive in certain aspects of the game, and allow the game come to him instead of forcing it, I think we will be fine. Then that pace will be an extra asset to him. Let's just put it that way. Hinkapie played a few games at right back Leverkusen, I think. Yeah, he did as well. He did. To be honest, Declan Rice has played about 2 games for us at right back mid-games as well. Thomas Partey used to play for us at right back. Calafiori has played for us at right back. I remember that as well against PSG, was it? Or last year, or when was it? And during the league, he also played right back. No need to panic now. We only play 1 game a week till end of the season. Exactly. At the moment, it's no panic stations, no nothing. It's all chill, calm, relaxing. Calma, woo, son, all this stuff. At the moment, definitely. Remember versus Brentford, Mosquera pace. Yeah. But that is also nice. That is also a nice asset to have. Definitely. Mosquera needs to be calm, aware. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've seen Saliba do some rash decisions as well. Well, everyone has done it. Like, there isn't an Arsenal player who hasn't done a rash decision this season. The question is when you do it and what are the consequences. The thing is that quite a few Arsenal players tend to do them in the least opportunistic times you can ever imagine, right? Which at the end of the day means that they usually cause some sort of panic, some sort of chaos near our end, and Ryan needs to step in or everyone scrambles and it's a big mess. And that 100% goes to Zubimendi, that he's the prime suspect number one in that. And then on occasion, it is Raya himself, obviously. And then there's Saliba, at times Gabriel. So it is what it is. Let's be honest, we have no choice but to trust Mosquera. Exactly. I'm sure Saliba and Gabriel will tell. Oh, they will. They definitely will. They will figure this out. They will figure this out somehow. Arteta is well gonna figure this out. Either somebody is gonna cover for him, or there will be extra help on that side defensively. That just means that maybe if there's gonna be a necessity on extra cover, Saka will have to do extra running, and that, with his injury history in recent times, definitely does not bode well long term. That also is another thing we need to keep in our minds. Let's just put it that way. That definitely also would not be great, so to speak. Mosquera is no, obviously, yeah, yet, but for what it's worth. He came in out of nowhere to be a star and did very good. Yeah, for a young player being thrown into the war, he's pretty calm. Overall, yes. Overall, yeah. For being a player in that regard, that he doesn't play much, but when the bell rings, he's been thrown into deep end quite a few times, and for the most part, he's done quite good, to be honest. Quite good. Yeah, most of Arsenal errors are self-inflicted, unfortunately, in our own end, and that is not good, because many times, if we played against a team that had actually more quality of players, we could have been screwed royally. Let's just put it that way. Big up, Quaja. Big up. 13 likes so far, people. Smash the likes and subscribe as well if you have not already. The build-up is what's worrying me, though. Yeah, because with Zubimendi playing in that 6, as soon as he gets pressed, he panics and he tends to absolutely disappear. That is the biggest issue. And David Raya as well, because sometimes he does some weird Mazza which he should not be being even thinking about doing. I don't know why he thinks he's Ronaldinho at times, but hey. Remember, Mosquera made some pass-back howlers in the FA Cup against Mansfield and Southampton. He does tend to rush passes that cause problems. Yeah, he does. And as soon as he actually learns these bits and bobs and what not to do at times and trusts himself more, I think it also kind of coincides with the fact that he's new at this. Also, that he doesn't play a lot, so he cannot get in consistent and constant experience by playing every single game. And he just basically cold. He's cold and he gets thrown into hot water. He tends to a bit overheat and he starts to steam. When was it when Saliba got injured? Like September? It was before. It was against Liverpool away. Yeah, it was. And there was, I think, one more time. I think, I was right back. Big up, Mubarak. Big up. Big up. Dude, that West Ham equalizer. That had me shaking all over the place. Pause. Smash the likes and subscribe, people. Yeah, and especially with the press of PSG. Exactly. And with the quality that PSG have in the front line. That is the big worry, because when Mansfield pressures you, even Southampton to a degree, Burnley's and teams like that, they lack the quality to sometimes create the final third and get that finishing touch. With PSG, 9 times out of 10, that error tends to a very dangerous shot or a goal even. And we cannot afford to have these type of circumstances happening in the final at all. They just need one chance and it could be done and dusted. Let's be real. One chance, they go 1-0 up or 2-1 up, and that could be all she wrote. Let's just put it that way. That could definitely be all she wrote. And we don't want to be in that position. With the fact that our attack struggles quite a few times as it is to create and do everything. And the defensive display that PSG pulled off against Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena, with basically shutting them down on many occasions, it is a massive worry. Let's just put it that way. It was a very, very nice exhibition of what PSG could do against us. And we don't have the technical ability to get out of those positions on our own. And there, then it's gonna lots and lots of teamwork will be required. Let's just put it that way. I honestly think we might need to go for like 4-4-2 and try to go long. Yeah, we have talked about this, like playing 4-4-2, 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1 on many times, 3-5-2, 3-4-3, 5-2-3, 5-3-2, and all this stuff. We have talked about this pretty much every single stream. Well, not every single stream, but on quite many times. But it's very evident that we are not gonna do it. Would you really like to see it? Yes, I would. Let's be real. But it's not gonna happen. Yeah, that definitely was not good for Hart at all. It would actually suit Palace to get a good result against City, as it means Arsenal could wrap up the Prem title against Burnley and can then field the reserve team for the final game against Palace. Yeah, definitely, definitely. And can you imagine if we actually could win the Premier League at the Emirates, not at Selhurst Park, but at the Emirates? Like that would be something extra special, which would help in their preparation for Europe. Yeah, but Palace would rotate as well. At least that's what I would expect, because for them that Conference League final actually means quite a bit more than the games against City and against Arsenal, no matter how you look at it. Because if they win it, they get into Europa League, no? So that would be a very, very nice and very welcome and very unique goodbye for also for Glasner, because Glasner, that means he would have won two trophies there, FA Cup and the what's its face Conference League. Freaking hell, my brain. I think I think they won't roll. Depends. I think it strictly depends. I think their players needs minutes to go into the finals to be. I think they could start some main guys and some reserves, and then they could sub on some of the main guys. I think something like that could happen. Basically, not to get so they don't get a full 90, but they get about 30-35 minutes in their legs and everything. Just have like a tiny bit of a warm up, so to speak. I can see that happening. So, what is happening in the Premier League? I'm just checking what is happening in the Premier League. Holy crap. I'll be right with you guys. Give me a second. Oh, freaking hell. Anyone remembers this? Anyone remembers this, by the way? Because we had a big stream on this as well at certain stage. When Mikel Arteta returned to Arsenal 6 years ago, he installed a Premier League trophy in the training ground wall, which would light up only when his team became Premier League champions. He did that 6 years ago, 6.5 almost. Well, six. Let's just put it that way. 6 years ago, 6.5, 6.5 years ago. Could this be the season that this Premier League trophy, that basically is just like a hole in the wall, finally lights up? This definitely feels like it's the year, doesn't it? Definitely feels like this could be the year. Uh, May 14. Okay. And also, I've been hearing for give me a sec. Yeah, I've been hearing for months that Palace is on the beach and focusing on Europe, and that they are a free win. And I seen them compete against every opponent in front of them. Yeah, 100%. Like, they're gonna compete no matter what. They have the squad to do so, but you cannot deny that they're gonna be more focused, obviously, on the Conference League than anything. That's why I don't write off Burnley and Palace games at all, especially after a head loss against West Ham. Well, I think it's gonna be different, especially that we play at home. I think it's definitely gonna be different. I fully expect a very tough game against Burnley. I expect a game that's definitely gonna put us to the test once again, especially if we play this slow, pragmatic, well, basically backwards type football. However, if we even play for 20 minutes like we played in the beginning against West Ham, and we score those 2-3 goals which we didn't score against West Ham, that's gonna be all she wrote. They're gonna fold instantly, and that's what I want, to be honest. That's what I want against Burnley. We start off the gates quick. We score 2-3 goals. We make them fold instantly, and then just see the game out, and nobody will complain. Plus, we could rack up some goal difference. I will PMSL if those lights don't come on at the end. Oh, dude. If those lights don't come on at the end of the season, the pitchforks and everything is gonna come out. The riots around the Emirates, I fully expect to be absolutely insane, to say the least. Like, if that light doesn't turn on, it's gonna be very, very long. It's gonna be painful, and it's gonna be absolutely devastating, to say the least. But I don't see it happening. Ironically enough, I just do not see it happening at all. Let's just put it that way. What the lineups are saying. Bento, Brozovic, come on. I just put it that way. But yeah, it's good. Like honestly, how much in terms of percentage, right? In terms of percentage, how much percent realistically you think Arsenal can win Champions League? Like, serious talk. Percentage-wise, how much do you think Arsenal can win Champions League and Premier League, to be honest? Let's put them both. Premier League and Champions League. How much? Because I fully expect the percentages to be massively different. Massively different. Because you know that I have around, I think it's about 95% we are winning the Premier League. And for Champions League, I am at about, well, I was about 40, but at the moment, I am about 30 or so. Let's just put it that way. For Champions League, I'm at 30%. For Premier League, I'm at 95%. Personally. 15% Arsenal will win the Champions League. 30% Arsenal will win the Champions League. We're going up in numbers, to be honest. That's a positive side. Okay, but in Premier League, if those are the Champions League numbers, what are the Premier League numbers saying then? Hold on. So you want to tell me that you are only 15% sure we're going to win Premier League and 7% that we're going to win Champions League? Really? Oh, here we go. Premier League is 65%. That also feels hella low. With 2 games to go, top of the league, no matter what, until Monday. Or Tuesday, to be honest. Like, it also, for me, it's like, it feels hella low. I know it's Arteta, he has the history and everything, but I don't see it happening this season, personally, anymore. I don't see it happening because if we ball it from here, like, there is no coming back from this. Not for Arteta, not for the players, not for the club. Let's just put it that way. 15% of win both. I would love those 15% to come true. Let's just put it that way. 75% to win Premier League. That's actually not bad. But I know what you mean, because this is the biggest reason. 4 years of PTSD. The 22-23 season when we balled 8-point lead and everything. Like, I absolutely get it. I absolutely get it in that regard. I absolutely get it, because some of the balling we have done over the years, definitely, it's worrying. Let's just put it that way. It definitely is worrying. I still see like one good performance. Yeah, overall, throughout the whole game, there has been one good performance. Well, technically two. Let's just say two for lack of a better word, right? But the thing, we have seen quite a few good halves, because Arsenal somehow tend to do good in one of the two halves most of the time. But overall, yeah, throughout the course of 90 minutes, it's been one or two games out of 60 we have played this season. But at the same time, it doesn't matter at the end of the day how you do it. Only thing that matters is that you do it. Let's just put it that way, right? For me personally, right, the biggest issue is the fact that the way you should play right now at the end of the season, right, with this pragmatic crap, boring crap, the maintaining, containing, sustaining, detaining, and all this stuff we're doing, right? We have played like that throughout the whole season. And I think that's why we are so sick of it. We just want to get it done no matter what. Because if we were actually doing good, if we were playing like against Fulham throughout the course of the season, we were still there. And right now, City, we're still on our necks. And we were starting to be quite a bit pragmatic. No one would care. That is the big thing. Oh, Southampton scored 1-1. Stewart scored. Ross Stewart scored 1-1 Southampton. Holy crap. If we play like West Ham games, don't convert chances. Yeah, exactly. And that is the thing. We need to take our chances. We cannot afford to basically go to the Emirates, play against Burnley, and waste chances in the first 20 minutes, the 4 or 5 chances we get like we did against West Ham. As Rommel was rumored have said, you are never closer to failure when you assume you are assured victory. Yeah, true. 100%. There are countless examples of that. But at the same time, lots of circumstances and lots of situations play into this. And there just are too many variables for this not to become true as well. Too many variables. I think 95% of the Premier League and 50-50 on Champions League. 50-50 on... That is, I think, the most optimistic Champions League I have heard so far. Because I was around 40. So right now, I've dropped a bit with the Ben White injury, not having a proper right back, obviously. But overall, I think that is the highest Champions League percentage I have heard so far. I think that the whole 7 days off could... Exactly. I definitely believe. If we go like 50 minutes with a draw, I think gets dark. Yeah. The longer it stays 0-0, the more it favors the opposing side. That goes without saying. Because one bounce, one random deflection, one random handball, as we saw with Ben White against Atletico Madrid, and that could be all she wrote. Without shadow of a doubt. But if we go in and we score early, we convert some of the chances we missed against West Ham, again, that's going to be all she wrote this in a positive way. I prefer us against Burnley losing 1-0 at halftime than it being 0-0. Nah, I don't want losing at all. I want more clean sheets. If Arsenal are losing 1-0 to Burnley by halftime, Arteta go, oh, yeah, then it's going to be panic stations. It's going to be deer in headlights. Useless, unnecessary subs will be made, and it's going to get worse. Big up DG2, big up. We need to start fast against Burnley. Get the early goal and then get the second as quick as possible, yeah. Just like we tried to do against West Ham, it just didn't work out. If we could do... we should just convert the chances against Burnley and create those chances we didn't convert against West Ham, and we're good. Like, we should be good. At the same time, it's Arsenal, and you can never put anything past Arsenal because there have been so many situations where it's a sure guaranteed thing, and well, we shit the bed. I think we played better when losing early because we actually tried to score. Well, it forces us to go forward. And the other team sits back, trying to hit us on counters. And to be honest, that's also proving that we can play attacking football. The worst games we had was chilling with the jaw and getting scored on late. Yeah. Some of those games we have played in the season when it's a draw, and you can very visibly see that Arteta is setting up to play for a draw and to get that 1 point instead of going for 3. Many times it bites us in the ass. Yeah, the West Ham game should have been 2-0 at very least at halftime. In the first 20 minutes, it should have been 2-0 at very least. That is the nuts part. We just need to convert those chances. We cannot afford not to have our scoring boots on at the end of the day. A bit more composure, a bit more precision and preciseness, and we are golden. The same team as West Ham, only Mosquera at right back. I'm not worried. Yeah. Start the same team like against Burnley we did against West Ham. Obviously, Mosquera goes right back. I'm not worried as well. Definitely not worried myself as well. Prediction for the Burnley game is 3-0 Arsenal. See? For me, the confidence comes from the fact mostly that we play at home as well. Because if we had to play that game at Turf Moor, oh my God, would I be shitting the bed. Because that would be another West Ham waiting to happen. Or another Wolves waiting to happen. But since it's at the Emirates, I have much, much more confidence. Even the Fulham game, you might call that a clinical game, but it was not. Yeah. If I remember correctly, we had 5 or 6 big chances at the end of the first half. Overall, we have had quite a few chances. To be honest, in the most of the games, we tend to be very good for the first 15 to 20 minutes, where we have had about 3 to 5 chances to absolutely shut the game down, and we just cannot get the ball in the net. Either we miss by an inch, we hit the post, or it gets blocked on the line, or the goalkeeper makes a wonder save. And it is very frustrating, but we have somehow still managed to get the job done in the end, which is the positive part. Big up, Elbow. Big up, Elbow. Big up. We were lucky that Fulham effectively rolled over and wanted their tummy tickled. Yeah. And everything, but it's something similar like, for example, the Burnley game against Man City. The scoreline is 1-0 at the end of the game. Everyone says, oh, it's a tough game, it's a rough game and everything, right? And all this stuff. But if you actually watch the game, City should have won that game 5-0. Based on the chances, they just couldn't score. And that is with City's attack. And we even managed to change and not score. If you remember the first half of the season, we actually was the second half team. We played it safe the first half and turned up second. Yeah. Yeah. I disagree. Fulham wanted to win the game. Yeah, Fulham wanted to win. They just lacked quite a bit that day. Let's just put it that way. Because Fulham fighting for Europe, they are not just gonna roll over like nothing. I disagree. Maybe like 5-3. Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, that 1-0 definitely did not reflect the game at all. And everyone that says that City did nothing in that game and everything, I'm sorry, are just blind. At the end of the day, are just blind. But again, that is at Turf Moor. That is at home. No matter how you look at it, because this is Burnley's away record, right? Burnley's away record is absolute shambolic, to say the least. Absolutely shambles, for example. Burnley on the road have 2 wins, 3 draws, 13 losses. And we play them at Emirates as well. Like, Burnley away just cannot do it. At home, yes. At home, Burnley has quite good record, in my opinion. Away, well, even though they're going down, right? They have the same amount of wins. They just have more draws and less losses, right? But they play much more sustainable football for, well, them, for their standard. From Burnley missed it. Yeah, everyone just missed Arsenal. Nobody's saying stupid people. What do you mean? Fulham is a very well organized place team. Yeah, Marco Silva is doing a good job there. We need to big score versus Burnley. That as well. We need definitely about 3-0, 4-0 win just to get the goal difference up without shadow of a doubt. I would love to go with at least 4 goal difference in the last game of the season. Yeah, facts. I would love let's just say if we have not won the league by the last game week, right? Let's just say Arsenal beat Burnley, City beat Palace, and City beat Bournemouth away, right? On Tuesday, I want to go in that game with massive goal difference. Saying that City must win, so Arsenal also must win, well, or get a draw, so at least to be even with contention, right? So Arsenal need that goal difference. Arsenal need at least +3, +4 goal difference going into the last game week if we have not sealed the league by then, basically. Quite a lot of things might ride on that. Quite a lot of things might ride on that. We've seen Aston Villa on the beach already, how bad they are. They will let City win at least by 3. I'm not so sure about that, obviously. And Aston Villa played the Europa League final before the City game. So depending on that result, I think the game is going to be affected one way or the other. That definitely I can fully expect. Just the question is, will it be for more of the plus side or more of the negative side? Let's just put it that way. It's going to be interesting to see. Because somehow this year, Conference League final is after the season, Europa League final is before the end of the season. It somehow makes almost no sense. Like, it's somehow backwards a tiny bit, but it is what it is. I guess it is what it is in that regard. But yeah, people, on that note, I'm going to end today's stream. Big up everyone. I'm going to redirect you to Northside. Like the stream. If you haven't already, subscribe if you're new. And let's see what tomorrow brings. Because tomorrow, Crystal Palace play against City at Selhurst Park, 8 p.m. kickoff. Let's see. Will they do us a favor, or City are going to be 2 points behind us?